Alexandra and Katarina are annoyed. Once more, there's no soap in the bathrooms. The two young women from Kyiv have been living in Berlin's former airport Tegel for over 6 months now. It's Germany's largest refugee shelter.
It's dirty here. The staff don't clean properly. I've lived in different blocks since I arrived in February, and it's dirty everywhere. It's very loud, too. People are being moved on to other accommodation, especially the sick and people with disabilities. That's the big problem here. How many live in a room? 16 people to a room.
To protect the refugees' privacy, we're not permitted to film inside the sleeping quarters. One resident, though, sent us a video to show how she's living there. 77-year-old Lyudmila Sherbina is outraged. She too wants to voice her complaints to us, as do many others.
There are people who get housing after 2, 3, or 7 months. Then others like me get nothing after 1.5, 2 years. Where's the justice in that? Why is it like that?
Around 5,000 refugees are being housed in 40 lightweight buildings. Most have come from Ukraine and are in this emergency shelter against their will. Originally, it was supposed to be a reception center for Ukrainian refugees. But with housing in Berlin ever scarcer, time in Tegel has dragged out. Some have now been living there for almost 2 years.
We can't tell people we don't have anything. We have to house everyone. It's our legal mandate. As more people have arrived, we've had to lower the standards. What we're seeing here in Tegel is not up to our normal housing standards, but that's because a large number of people have arrived in a very short time.
Over the past 2 years, a city within a city has emerged. Over 1,400 staff members keep everything running: sport halls, nail salons, canteens, doctors, libraries, and childcare. Around a third of the Ukrainian refugees have found jobs. Now their children must be taken care of. The shelter costs €500 million a year to run.
It's a highly expensive form of housing. It's labor-intensive and has very high operating costs. We have extremely high levels of consumption with electricity, oil, and rental costs for the halls. So while the standards of the space we are providing are the lowest, it's by far also the most expensive way to accommodate people. But there's nowhere else in the city where we can open up so many spaces so quickly.
Daily, the staff at Tegel are on the receiving end of complaints and are sometimes even physically attacked. Words of praise are rare.
For the unskilled work I do here, I earn 10 times what a qualified worker in Ukraine does. I work as a janitor in a hotel. Overall, I'm satisfied with the way things are. I'm grateful to German society and its people.
Staff at the shelter are preparing to accommodate hundreds more refugees soon, some from Ukraine, maybe also from Lebanon. They find the accusations unfair.
Contact with the local population is also needed for people to truly settle here. That's something that a city can only achieve collectively, though. That's exactly the problem at Tegel. It's like an island. It's outside of normal city life. We're constantly surprised that some people have no idea that 5,000 people are being housed at the former airport. People can almost forget about the refugees here. Of course that's a problem.
21-year-old Alexandra wants to take matters into her own hands. She says waiting is making her sick. That's why she and her husband are taking the initiative to learn German on their own.